Our next Alumni Distinguished Leadership Award goes to Dr. Kathleen Plinske, class of 1997. I wish I could share some of the stories I heard over dinner, but I'm going to stick to my script. Truly a dynamic individual she is. Dr. Kathleen Plinske is a distinguished educational leader with a passion for providing access to higher education to traditionally disadvantaged students. At the young age of 32, Dr. Plinske serves as president of Valencia College's Osceola and Lake Nona campuses in Kissimmee and Orlando, Florida. Dr. Plinske is responsible for all academic, administrative, and fiscal leadership of the campuses and was responsible for overseeing the development of a new 45,150,000 square foot building at the Osceola campus. Recently named as the top community college in the nation by Aspen Institute, the Osceola campus serves 12,000 students per term, and about 45% of whom are Hispanic. Dr. Plinske uses her fluency in Spanish to communicate with students and their parents. Prior to her work at Valencia, Dr. Plinske spent several years working at McHenry County College in Illinois. Her role began with working with faculty interested in developing online classes. From there, Dr. Plinske's extraordinary talents and professional commitment were quickly noticed. I can see why. And she was promoted into several roles. In 2009, she was selected to serve as the interim president of McHenry County College and was named one of McHenry County's top 10 under 40. Dr. Plinske is vocal about her gratitude for the tremendous gift of her experiences at IMSA that were provided to her by the people of Illinois, and about the responsibilities she feels to give back to her community. She has been recognized for her leadership and accomplishments with several awards, including being named the 2012 Outstanding Young Alumnus by Indiana University and Woman of the Year by Orlando Business Journal in their 40 under 40 competition. Kathleen, congratulations on your Alumni Distinguished Leadership Award. Would you please come up and get your award? Congratulations.
Thank you. I am truly humbled by this amazing honor. If we took a time machine and went back to the fall of 1994, I think I may have been voted least likely to one day receive an alumni award. In fact, I think I may have been voted least likely to graduate from IMSA. I was a 14-year-old sophomore, or shmen to be exact, and quite possibly the most homesick student in IMSA history. I had never really been away from home before, and I cried myself to sleep every night for the first month I was at IMSA, maybe the first 2 months. I called my mom not just every day, but more like 5 times every day. I posted a countdown to the weekend on my wall to count the days until Friday when my dad would drive down to Aurora after work and take me to Crystal Lake to spend the weekend at home. When I look back, I'm not exactly sure how, particularly as a 14-year-old, I found the strength to stick it out. But I know that I owe my thanks to many. I had a number of teachers my sophomore year that helped me through my struggles. I was blessed with the most amazing work service supervisors, including Pam Seward, Michelle Adams, and Linda Torp, who truly made me feel part of a community. I was fortunate that my junior high music teacher, Mr. Shelley, was willing to give me piano lessons on Saturdays back in Crystal Lake, giving me another reason to look forward to the weekends. But I'm especially grateful to my mom and dad for making the trip up and down Randall Road quite literally hundreds of times, both to shuttle me home on the weekends as well as make special deliveries to me during the week. One of those special deliveries was necessitated by a paper that was due in Dr. Victory's class and my newfound talent for procrastination. I had waited until the night before the paper was due to get a serious start on it, and I had this bizarre habit of writing out my papers by hand before typing them. So I finished handwriting my essay, which was around 1 in the morning, and I pulled out my word processor to begin typing, only to find that I had run out of ink. A wave of panic and fear overcame me. I knew that Dr. Victory would not accept a handwritten essay, and I also knew that I could not turn in that essay late. So I did what any panicked 14-year-old would do at 1 in the morning on the night before a paper was due. I called my mom. She offered to type my essay for me as I read it to her over the phone, and she printed it out for me. And then on the next morning, before work, my father drove an hour out of his way to deliver to me that typed essay. And I'll never forget, as he handed it to me, he sternly warned me to never again wait until the night before an assignment was due. So while dealing with these bouts of homesickness and contemplating whether or not I should just give up, drop out, and just go back home, which is honestly what my parents were advising me to do at the time, there was one persistent belief that kept me at IMSA. I knew that I did not want to go through the rest of my life wondering what could have been different if I had just been strong enough to stick it out. That belief, ultimately, is what kept me going. And receiving this incredible honor tonight has given me pause to reflect on what would have been different in my life if I hadn't stuck it out. First of all, if it hadn't been for IMSA, I'm not sure that I even would have made it to college. And I know with 100% certainty that if it hadn't been for amazing teachers like Dr. Dover, Dr. Horrell, and Mr. Moyer, I would not have been a physics major. My experiences at IMSA helped me develop an amazing tenacity and belief that nothing is impossible, even when faced with tremendous time constraints. In fact, I learned to thrive under pressure and now perhaps perform best at the last minute. I clearly remember the first all-nighter that I ever pulled, writing a paper about the history of the coffee trade in Kenya for Dr. Knockenbed. Of course, I also developed the complementary ability to sleep for 18 hours straight to catch up. But most important, at IMSA, I found my calling, my purpose. I didn't know it at the time, but my involvement in the reinvention process in '95 and '96 allowed me to naturally discover my passion for educational reform. What more amazing of an experience could a 15-year-old have than to roll up her sleeves with tremendous leaders like Dr. Marshall and Dr. Veal and engage in deep conversations about how to design educational programs and structures so that they best support student learning. That experience serves as the foundation for my work today. During my time at IMSA, Carl Sagan's quote was hanging on the wall, that IMSA is a gift from the people of Illinois to the human future. And since graduating from IMSA, I have felt a profound responsibility to make a difference in this world, to help repay the amazing gift that my experience at IMSA was to me. Based on my experiences at IMSA, I believe that I can make a difference in the field of education. In a system today where kindergartners aren't allowed to draw anymore, but instead are trained to fill in Scantron bubbles, we desperately need leaders. In a system where third graders routinely suffer from stomach aches due to the stress of the high-stakes math exam that they must take, and then we wonder why, by high school, the vast majority of students are literally terrified of math and avoid it like the plague, we desperately need leaders. At Valencia College, where I now serve as president for the Osceola and Lake Nona campuses, we believe that anyone can learn anything under the right conditions. And our role is to identify and create the conditions for our students to be successful. Osceola County, where I work, ranks 57th out of 67 counties in the state of Florida in terms of the percentage of high school graduates that continue on to college. And it is my mission to reinvent our structures and programs to allow more students to pursue a higher education and be a first-generation college graduate, as I was. My sincere hope is that 30 years from now, the IMSA community will be able to look back on my body of work and be proud of the contributions that I will have made to our educational system, and that my work, along with the work of thousands of other alumni, will demonstrate that IMSA was indeed the best investment that the people of Illinois have ever made. I know that I will be forever grateful for the opportunity to have been part of such an amazing, pioneering educational community, and I'm truly honored to be recognized this evening. Thank you.